Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be going outside and recreating the chicken tunnel door that goes to their coop, because the one that I had originally made, it's not really falling apart, it's just not put together as well as I would have liked to put it together. So we're going to be recreating it, making it a little bit better, a little bit sturdier, so that it just fits better in the door. I'm going to take you out there now and show you the original one. I did a video a while back showing you how I extended the tunnels, and this is one of the parts that I did not add in that video, is making this door, so you guys get to see how this door is made today. Now the supplies we are going to be working with are 2 brand new sticks, because these old ones were 4 sticks put together, and I'm going to explain more about that really soon. I brought out my chainsaw, I brought out some clippers, some gloves, and some twist ties. I think we're going to be using the chicken wire that's already on this door, just because why use more? I'll see if I can cut away all of the stuff that I have connected on there, and then of course we're going to use these orange and black bungees at the end. Now I'm going to show you exactly what this door has been doing for me since, and the problems with it. Okay, we are going to start with the problems on this. So because I put 4 pieces of wood put together, I did this piece and this piece were the same length, but then I had to make it a little bit taller, so then I cut another one in half and I put those up here. Well, the way that I have them attached is by this anchor piece right here, and then the way that that's attached to this is with a bunch of zip ties. And on this one I got so mad because this kept falling out of the zip ties, and then I had to put twine around it. I almost used the whole thing of twine and now that is holding. This is like all flimsy. I just want to make another one so that it is just nice, better, more sturdy. Taking a closer look at this top piece right here, looks like I did connect that to this whole long piece right here. If I turn this around, there's actually 2 of these pieces, so I'll probably utilize both of those. I might even get a couple sturdier pieces of branches so that I could put those up at the top in the middle. And those are stabilizers as well. This one seems pretty sturdy, so we're going to use that one. And then I have a tape measure there because we're going to measure exactly this space, because that's the space we use to put, that's the space they get into the tunnels with. So we don't want it any bigger or any smaller than that, because we still want that piece right there to fall on top of it. About 14 inches. That's what we're going to, after this gets disconnected from here. I'll probably leave this on the wire, but once I take this off of here, we need to make sure that the new branches, it's 14 inches from that first stick. Now, one of the reasons why I am choosing not to unwrap this twine and use it again, maybe we could use some of these again and tie small things together. Bundle of twine is like $2, $3, $4. You know, I know I could have saved that money if I just would have spent the time, but I just want to get it over with, and I'll just spend more, you know, I'll do it differently. We're going to use zip ties instead, because we're not using an anchor this time. So I think the zip ties will hold just fine, and we won't need to use another roll of twine. Now, as more of this unravels, you can see the mess that has been left underneath, which is why I started using the twine, is because these zip ties were not holding together the brace, like the support, and the zip ties and the wood. It was all just falling apart, so I got desperate, wrapped almost a whole roll of twine around this, and it still didn't work. I'm just tired of dealing with the wobbly door every day, putting it away. I think it would be much easier to handle if it were sturdy. So this is the mess that's underneath. We can remove that now. This piece right here wasn't holding this brace. It wasn't holding the zip ties, so I had to keep adding more and more and more, and it would always just sit, fall down. This is our progress. I have taken all the sides off after I do this one. I have decided we're going to keep that top on, and all we're really doing is replacing the sticks right here, and I have 2 longer sticks right there. I'm going to use the chainsaw to cut them just a little bit down to size so that they hit the top of here, and then we're going to connect it all, and I'll put the door up and let the chickens out. Here's the progress. It's not coming together as I hoped. It's kind of, because these sticks are uneven, these were a lot more even. These are not. Curves in there are making the chicken wire bend as well as making the sticks bend. So I'm trying to force the chicken wire to the branches with these zip ties as best as I can. So I'm working on the top. I'll work on the top right now. I secured the middle. We're going to secure down here. Make sure there's 14 inches. We'll cut off anything that's more than that. And then I have to cut off this piece up here. But again, I'm going to have to force that piece on top to go over to make more of a square door. This is the piece we're going to be forcing. I'm going to be just trying to force it to the right a little bit and attach it to the top, and hopefully kind of just gets comfortably into a straighter position than this curved position, because that's the frame that we need. I think I did a pretty good job of stretching that over there. It does still look a little wobbly and lopsided and wonky, so we're going to see how it fits in the door. I'm hoping it's going to be straight. There's not going to be any holes, because then we're going to have to take measures and cover all of those. That should be good. We'll see. If it's not, then I'll be cutting an inch off of the ends, because it's 15 inches. I put this up here and it is definitely too tall, so we're going to have to take it down some inches so that triangle portion meets the top of there. Down here, it's definitely too big. It's more so too big at the top, so that's why we have to take it there, because this piece right here can go over this and pretty much cover this whole area if I want it to. So, and then I put this in here, but this, it usually hits on that notch. So yeah, of course we're gonna have to take some off the bottom because that is way too high. A predator can definitely get into there. So I do see some holes right there, but that's what these bungees are for. We're gonna put it against the fence and secure it there. There's another hole right here because that curve is still in there, so we're gonna have to figure that out too. Oh, I know Shelby, she's the head hen. I did cut it off at the bottom a couple inches, and this is exactly what I wanted down here, but it is still leaving a huge gap up here. And so that whole section right there is open. Now, I could do a couple things and make like a chicken wire flap and then connect it to the fence. Each time I put it up, I could redo this and put it maybe lower. That might be a good idea, to redo that top, make it so that it comes down right here. Maybe even take off some of the top up here, like redo this and put it down. But that's what you have to do when you're DIYing. Like, there's a huge gap in there and I don't want that gap in there. That middle right there is just way too open for a predator, but these sticks don't really allow, they're not straight. I'm gonna have to bungee that to the fence. This goes down pretty nicely here, and then all I have to do is put this right there against that, so that blocks that top, and then I bungee that down, so there's the bungees right there. I bungee that to the fence and to the tunnel so they can't get through. This will be a little tighter once all right, let's work on the top. Alright, I'm going to refasten these right here. Now that we have cut the top off and then cut about 6 inches off the top of the door, we're going to remake that triangle part to actually fit this top, and hopefully when we attach it to this opening, it will work. I'm going to put this door up there right now to see if it's tall enough. Hopefully I didn't cut off too much. Now I'm just going to take off all of these so that I can get the wood pieces out of there, because that's the exact length that I need. And then we're going to attach that to this with some more chicken wire. So it's kind of like we have to undo all of this just to get those pieces off. I could always measure more, but why not use what we have? I wouldn't have known what to do with this piece anyway. Okay. So we do need a piece of chicken wire that is about 17 inches by 25 inches. And it's definitely going to have to be bigger than the original one because the original one did not fit. I have to put this, we'll put this to this first and then we'll connect this to this frame. I'm going to cut this. Okay, I attached the chicken wire to the sticks and now we just have to connect that top piece to this bottom piece, and then I'm gonna go try it in doorway. I want to see if it works. Hopefully it fits. It looks like it's a little bit better. I have a little bit less of a gap in there, but when I put it like that, it kind of covers that area a little bit. Another thing that fell short is this end over here. It used to go all the way over here, but now it doesn't. So either I'm not going to have to open the door as far. This down here, there's a gap right there, so I'm actually going to use one of the bungees to connect to the fence, and then whenever I attach this, I'm going to attach that to there so that that space is no longer open. Let's see what we could do about that. That looks good. So in the morning when I come out here, I'll fasten that one first. This fits well again, and that's exactly where that's supposed to be. I'll bungee that. This is the only thing that we have to worry about when we open the door. So I might try to find some kind of like a plate to put there or something to connect there, maybe a little curtain that comes down but made of chicken wire, because this thing right here is easily taken with. So I don't know what we're gonna do about that, and it's all because of that stick. That stick is just not straight. Now I went ahead and took some chicken wire and made kind of like a upside down triangle fit in this section, and I zip tied it to the top, and it kind of just hangs down here. There is still a little bit of a gap. Again, I'm gonna have to figure out what to do about that. Maybe I can extend that flap, but that'll be with the door. I'll put it away with the door and then it'll just hang down. I might secure it just to make it tighter, but I think it's enough of a deterrent that animals won't get in there. I'm hoping. All right, I ended up cutting basically a piece out of cardboard so that that fit in that slot and connected it to the top. When this goes down like this piece will go up and this will go down, so that will be easily stored, and then when I come out here and set it back up, everything will fall into place. Okay, so we just let them out and I opened the door only to realize this big piece will not allow me to open the door further than that, and even if it did, there's this huge space in there that I don't really know how I'm gonna cover that up, so I'm gonna have to work on covering that up. I did add an extra piece up here to cover this spot right here, so maybe, I don't know, I'm gonna have to figure this out because that is way too big of a gap for me to just leave like that. Even if I put this bungee here to try to put this closer to the fence, it still leaves that big gap. I should have just left the old door the way it was because it was working. It was just a little wobbly and irritating me, so I may end up recreating this whole thing again, or I need to hurry up and extend my coop, which is going somewhere over here. Okay, I ended up redoing the whole entire thing with the sticks that I used before, those straight ones, and then I used some sticks down here to use as a brace, but I used a longer one as opposed to that shorter one. This leaves less gaps in between. I can still bungee this to here and it's a lot easier. This thing I'm going to be able to take off because it does not leave much of a gap. This can be covered. This seems to fit all the way along the top once I open it. Let's see if this goes down. This is looking like it fits too. I just have to, that fits somewhat, and then that's when I put this in here. and I can bungee it. So this all still works, it all still fits. The girls can go underneath, and I think we have ourselves a recreated door. Just goes to show you from my experience that that whole first project messed up and I had to do it all over again. I just didn't film it. Now that I have a new chicken door, hopefully it's going to be easier for me to bring in and out of the workshop because it was starting to get really wobbly. I was starting to use all kinds of things around the garage like twine and more zip ties, and it just became a mess and all bulky, and it never worked out. So that's why we decided to recreate a new one, and hopefully this will be easier to put up and definitely easier to bring out and put away. DIY that I kind of just threw something together. It has worked since, but don't put any of this. I hope you guys are enjoying my journey and my DIY video. Charlie! Start over. I hope you guys are enjoying my channel and my, don't put that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and my DIY video. Don't put that either. I was starting to use all kinds of, Charlie, stop! Channel 1 did not fit. Oh, cricket. I brought out my, what is that?